What's going on? It's Justeeni here. This is the second part of my journey to possibly become the Zabasi World Champion for the second year in a row, and we are in the semi-finals, just so close to getting it. And this time we are against a very familiar opponent, Lelibator, who has notoriously been very, very strong player. He made it to Sweden with Chinchi, and he's been particularly good against me with a very strong record. However, things have recently been changing with the Quetzali World Championship. Last time I saw him in the semifinals, I 2-0'd him. And I'm hoping maybe I can keep that momentum because I've been studying how he plays and I know his weakness. That's what I exploited last time. I know that I just play really fast, put him under a lot of pressure. That's what's going to do it. So I'm kind of coming here with a game plan, and I'm hoping I can just execute it one more time, maybe get another quick 2-0. But let's just get right into things. So again, these are best of 3 as per usual. And I have a pretty weird spawn this time around, forcing me into an early fishing instead of my usual construction. But again, I've practiced a lot of Zabasi. I'm very familiar with the non-construction plays with Zabasi. And I don't quite meet Lelib, but I know where he is. Now I can fire off a second explorer to find him. And if I get a lighthouse, then I could even get a nice upgrade by just lighthouse alone. Not gonna happen this time, but I can still get the upgrade anyway. Get the port going, and I'm going to be able to expand in this lake. So I've got a nice advantage here. I figure Lelib probably went construction. So one advantage of not going construction is you can kind of do other things. Construction is a very committal opening, even if strong. So I'm going to be able to go down here. I'm going to be able to pick up this city, which, by the way, really bad if you're going construction, so good thing I didn't. I'm forced to do literally everything except get construction here. But I can still get some pretty good economy now. Hunting pre-cap. Going to be ready to get an explorer here. And we see windmill. Sure enough, another windmill. Probably has a giant already. Now I go sailing pre-cap, and sailing looks a little weird here, but maybe you can see the idea. Not going for this upgrade yet. Not going for this upgrade either because I want 2 explorers. And I want to grab 2 lighthouses. Going for turn 8 Eye of God. With this really expansive approach. You see Park of Fortune down. Unsurprising that there is a giant on board. Now explore, number 1. Easily gets the lighthouse, is basically guaranteed. Reveals everything there with leeway. Archery ruin, which is very nice here. And then now a second explorer. And the second explorer, it's going to be a little bit close, but it does manage to do it. There was a small chance that it wouldn't have gotten the lighthouse, but thankfully it did. And I'm able to place Eye of God, get my giant on turn 8, which is actually only 1 turn later than Lelib got his. And then I go for Archer, and I go for this really weird hit. I'm not going to go too much into detail with it, but I wanted to get this Archer right in the front. And I figured it would be a good idea to hit one of the warriors. I think it was actually better for me to hit this warrior. And then, actually, no. Like, if I'm hitting, I have to hit this one. Basically, I'm giving this 10 HP warrior a decision. You either kill this warrior, or you hit the archer. I want them to kill the warrior because I want my archer to live. There are some drawbacks, like if they kill the warrior, I can't advance my archer. So, maybe not actually the best play, but I don't know. I thought it was, like, a pretty interesting idea. I kind of did it, like, right at the end of my turn without thinking too much. And again, I'm going to keep that in mind. I've been playing these turns extremely fast. Not only am I banking up a ton of time, which is nice, but Lelib is under a lot of time pressure. He does not have much time to play his turns. And that's intentional. He doesn't like to bank his time. He doesn't like to play fast. He likes to take his time and think about everything. I just go off of pure intuition, just not going to calculate, just go. Now he goes for this. Really bold attempt at keeping the city. I assume he didn't expect me to go roads pre-cap, and I'm also sieging this. He didn't have a plan to unsiege that because it doesn't have vision, and then I'm just getting this. Now he has to knock me off once again. And he's just trying to keep it, but he's just barely unable to. Really trying to pressure here. Not stepping on the ruin, though. I could knock him off in that case, but it would be expensive. Now, here I move the scout here. Why do I do this? Because I misclicked. This is actually a really bad play. If Lelib knows how to punish this. I didn't want the scout here at all. In fact, I wanted the scout, like, here. This would be a beautiful spot for it. I can attack this rider. Be really annoying. But with the scout moved here, with this unfortunate misclick, now I only have one scout on the water, so if he just sieges the city, he just gets it back. And yeah, he just sieges and kills my scout, and that would be really bad. Well, actually, don't even need to kill the scout. Just hit the scout once and siege, which you can do with the warrior and the other units here. I'm able to get the city back at least again, just barely. But he kills the scout and is unable to siege, not realizing that I only had one scout on defense. He goes for border growth though, maybe trying to get in the water. I'm trying to go very greedy here, but his markets aren't actually that good, so I'm not too scared. And I am getting the city, bridge onto the ruin, getting an upgrade here. And now Grand Bazaar ready for another giant. And I've just got a really strong position here. Good attack up north. Archers causing lots of problems. Now they live going for the siege, but this time it's too late. I have that second unit in the water with that veteran sword. And I see another giant. He's got a lot of economy despite being on only 5 cities, but because he lost the city, he's not getting Grand Bazaar, which is really rough for him. And I'm finally upgrading these. Yeah, I've been playing so aggressive here. Like, normally you expect the boss to be very greedy. I don't have construction. And I've got archery. And I'm attacking. I'm attacking in the water too. Unsieging the city. I do it at the end of the turn, just so then he's kind of caught off guard. He's unprepared again, trying to work into that time pressure situation. And, I mean, I'm feeling really good about this position. Goes for the giant push. I know that I've just got so much pressure because I'm going to be able to funnel even more giants up here. And I'm just going to be able to pester him a lot. The archers are just going to get so much value. I did this really stupid veteran play, but it doesn't matter. I could have waited a turn to assign the vet. But I can get this workshop. Just so much economy here and lots of pressure. Like, all my units are all advanced up here. More archers on the way. They're very much cornered. And so he decides to resign, giving me the first point now in this series. So all I need to do is just win the next one. I'm going to make it to the grand finals. So go ahead and cut to the next match. All right, game 2. And this time, what could have been a really good spawn with just a single mountain in the way. But I do still have good possible windmill potential. Also lots of animals and stuff. And I see how the spawn looks. And I'm thinking, wow, I've got a lot of land on this map. Maybe I should go riding roads because I figure I have a village here. I've got a village somewhere here. I can go riding roads, get a very quick Grand Bazaar, just expand like crazy. And you know, that sounds like a good idea, so boom. Riding, I figure the middle is just going to be all land. Get that going, get the explorer, reveal the middle, and I either reveal the opponent and get 5 stars, or I get a lighthouse, which means I wouldn't have to send my rider back. And in any case, this is going to be a really nice game, and yeah, no. What is this? the middle was actually complete lake, so now my writing looks really stupid here. And I know that we live with construction because I can see his score is really high. That's always a sign of construction. And I'm kind of like checking his score between turns to really see what's going on. And I know that he is going extremely greedy. I go for the ruin, by the way, instead of village because I need to gamble. I need stars or pop or something, or else I'm just going to be too slow. And of course I get a veteran sword, which is atrocious. There's another ruin though, so maybe I can get something from that. And I do, I get a pop ruin, but there's a border growth already. Because I didn't get the city, now I'm kind of punished for that as well. Things are really not going my way, but I go roads. You know, I can get my giant. I can get Grand Bazaar actually. So that Grand Bazaar plan wasn't too bad at least. But now there's already a juggernaut here. It's turn 9. What's going on? Fishing, getting some ports for the connection. And I need a way of unsieging this. And I really have only one idea. So I go for an explorer. And I get some vision, but it's kind of a little unfortunate the way that it went this way, which means this lighthouse is going to be very hard to get. I go for the capture. I connect, which is kind of a waste here. I thought I would get Grand Bazaar, but I forgot I didn't place a road here. So it looks a little silly. And yeah, I'm realizing, wait, I need either 3 monuments or I need to get 2 ports and org. I don't have the Justeeni unless by some miracle I'm getting both lighthouses, which I can't even reach this one. Just straight up, I can't. So I train a rider here, preparing for the Justeeni that doesn't even exist because I'm just bluffing. I figure, well, he has this lighthouse and this lighthouse. He probably has a lot of vision on me. By seeing this rider, that means, like, in his point of view, I'm wanting him to siege with this giant. Which is complete bluff, by the way. If he sieges with the giant, he's just keeping the city. Unless I get really, 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 really lucky. And he does fall for the bluff, thankfully, giving me an extra bit of time to set up something. So I can take this out, and I actually do get this lighthouse because he put that warrior there. And I'm thinking maybe Justeeni's possible. That is the only thing keeping me in the game. If I do not Justeeni, I lose. I go Org, get the Explorer, and it just needs to give me that lighthouse. And it's so close, it just needs to not turn there. And he still doesn't even move the giant on, so yeah. I actually did have potential Justeeni though, like, because now I could actually do that, like, fish and two ports play because he was pretty slow to go for the siege. So it's actually correct for him to still not go for it, and yeah, still can't Justeeni. Very well played by Liv, just recognizing that potential there. First, I mean, he kind of fell for the bluff, but it was understandable to play it safe. Now when I actually have it, he's still not biting, and in the following turn, he's just simply going to move his giant up, then go for the siege with the giant zone of controlling. There's nothing I can do there, and I won't be able to Justeeni. So yeah, I just resign here, like I'm just getting completely outclassed. So 1-1, final game situation once again. I'll go ahead and cut to that. All right, final game, and again, must-win situation, and immediately something very interesting here. I see this, and I'm kind of hoping, ooh, we have a close spawn. I can maybe take advantage of that, go really aggressive, really put some pressure on my lib. And having that information on turn 0 is so nice here. So it's already giving me some ideas. I see fruit here. I'm thinking I could go Org instead of construction. It'll give me some quick development and also leave the door open for writing. So very flexible opening with Org. But then I see, wait, he's not on this side of the map. He's all the way up here, and there's a lake in the middle. So actually, this is going to be very greedy. Now I go for Org anyway, and the reason why is because I can just get construction before my third city. So that's what I'm going to do here. Get this level 3, and then this level 2, and then this level 3. And I think this actually does work out to be slightly better. I didn't really calculate it. I just kind of like, it looks better. So I did it. That's the story of my life, I guess. So now I go construction. It's only 3 stars more expensive by waiting for my third city, but I got all these upgrades in the meantime. Now I get this Explorer. I know he's in the north, and the Explorer seems to not know that, and it goes south instead. A little annoying, but it's fine. I know what to do in this position. I just wanted to get those meeting stars. So I fire off the second one. Now I get the meeting stars. Get some very nice vision. I see his capital, and I see, wow, he does not have good market spots. And I know exactly what to do here. Now, the one thing is I know what to do, but executing it is another story. I need markets. But if we look at this, the market spots are actually not the most straightforward. I'm not going to reveal what they are yet. I'd encourage you to find them on your own if you want. See how to really optimize them here, because it's actually quite difficult. So I go for this windmill here. That's kind of the first piece of the puzzle. Get my giant going. Then, very important, Park of Fortune here to get this forest and some port space as well. I get a writing ruin, or sorry, I get writing, then open the ruin, hoping for roads, but gives me garbage Explorer, which it doesn't really matter. Again, that's kind of why I got writing before, is because I know I can gable really hard. Like, nothing's really going to change. Like, they're getting vision there, but he does not have Eye of God, thankfully. And I know he's going to be going into water, potentially attacking, but the thing is, I can just make a ton of giants and defend, so my game plan is really not changing at all. And now I can go for trade, get my first market. It is a little slow, turn 11, despite the fact that I'm going really greedy. But, I mean, I've got everything under control, and I know Layla just does not have good markets. So I'm going to be able to absolutely skyrocketing. You can see this really nice market here. Nice level 8. Go for hunting to get some upgrades in the meantime, because I'm going to try to maximize the amount of giants I get. So grab all this extra population instead of burning the force with the animal on it, because it's going to get me some extra giants in the long run. Because I'm going to have the eco. I can afford to go for something like hunting. And then again, turning up the greed to 11, border growth. And I want to spam giants anyway, so why not spam giants and get my markets going at the same time? I just spend my entire turn just dumping everything into the city. But now I don't have to worry about it. Boom. That's done. Next turn I can focus on the west. Take care of all that. Then I've got a gazillion giants that I can throw at the opponent and win. And a lot of star per turn to back it up. Border growth here. Another market. Like, this is extremely greedy, but it's like, you can't punish it because I'm literally getting my defense and economy at the same time. And I make some riders as well, just in case he tries to get aggressive with these juggernauts, because I see he's got a lot of them. With construction, like, he's got farms literally everywhere. Now that I've maxed out my economy, now I start going in the water and I just spam a ton of ports down. Another giant there. They did go for this annoying border growth. Very well timed, but ultimately, like, I'm still getting a ton of giants. But he's got a lot of giants of his own. But I was kind of prepared for this. I'm able to just annihilate this juggernaut here. Just flat out gone now. I go climbing here. I have this bridge, which is really nice. I get a bunch of vision here, and then I move the giant up here. Now, I'm pointing this out because this is where I start to kind of let my guard down a little bit. This is not a good play. The reason why I did this was to kind of lock down this tile, so he couldn't put giants here. And then I move this giant back to safety. Go for sailing, all that. But yeah, this position is really nice, but you can never, ever let your guard down. I go for this giant here. So I'm thinking, well, it's going to stop him from landing. I've got a giant. Surely he's not going to do it. Upgrade the city. But then now he goes for this really nice play here. And then he just lands the giants anyway. And this is something that I didn't really expect at all. Because I move this giant here, I am leaving myself wide open. And this giant's just getting damaged a lot by that splash damage. Free Spirit Ruin, Meditation Ruin. Not really that useful right now. Go Raymond Aquatism. Take out some units. Send these back. And I'm kind of expecting, okay, so he's going to siege. But I do have 2 giants to defend. And a bunch of riders. I can just kill whatever's on the city. And I'll be just fine. Train a bunch of units. Get another giant to really reinforce this area. Connect a bunch of cities so I get Grand Bazaar. And I place it here. And this ends up being a huge mistake, turning this otherwise completely winning position into possibly even a losing one, because I have just completely given up the city. Full stop. Because I forgot to take into account that he can just block. Now I cannot kill this giant. And, well, I can place some ports, right? I'm thinking during his turn as I see this. Luckily he did the siege first, so I have time to consider the consequences of my action. But we sit here at the beginning of this turn, and I'm wondering, what do I do? Well, I can't kill the giant, but I can just place ports, right? I mean, I only need to place 7 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. I actually need 8 ports, and I don't have a way of unsieging with ports. Okay, but I can use a monument. I mean, I haven't gotten my killer monument yet, so how close am I to that? Oh. I only have 3 kills. Well, I can get a lot of kills here. There's a lot of units that I can take out. I can take out this giant. That's 1. 2. I can take out this for 3. Take out this for 4. Take out one of these scouts for 5. And then I can even do this really nice, like, giant push to take out this scout with some splash for 6, because I'll be splashing it twice here. And then a 3rd time, I guess, with this juggernaut. Or sorry, yeah. Once with this, and once with this. So I can get 6 kills, but, well, I need 7. And last time I checked, 7 is a larger number than 6. But I decide, you know, I'm at least gonna, like, play the obvious parts of my turn. And I'll have to figure something else to do with that, but I'll just kill this first, and wait a second. There's a cloak. And I can kill that cloak. That's the last kill I need. So I move my giant here, which is completely useless, by the way. I can reveal the cloak, and I can kill it too. With this rider here, take out the cloak, and then splash around, rammer here. Now I have exactly enough to do this whole sequence that I saw earlier. This time it actually works. And I can do it. I have killer. I just need to place the ports. And he resigns. But not before I realize, wait a second. I need to place 2 ports. I have 9 stars. He resigned before I could even realize that I don't have enough stars, but luckily I did remember I do have free spirit. I can disband 5 units. Well, I used most of my units already. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. If I had 1 fewer unit to disband, that would have been it, and I lose the city after I spammed a bunch of ports in it. I did have the unsiege, but it was literally by the skin of my teeth. Now, I'm not sure if I would have lost, like, if the city were taken, because I've got 2 Aquatism Juggernauts and 2 giants on the way, and this giant here. I'm probably just going to re-siege, but it would have still been devastating. I'd lose a ton of economy, and the lib gets that economy temporarily. So who knows what would have happened, but luckily I did just barely have it. If I hadn't, like, moved this giant, I would have had even more leeway. There's some little misplays there, but my goodness, that was so close. I'm like, whoa. Like, again, let your guard down for just one moment, just a minor lapse in judgment with this Grand Bazaar, thinking, well, I'm going to place a monument here to get it. Might as well, and then, oops, almost lost a city there. So, slight heart attack. Very, very close, but, sure, I guess. I managed just to win, barely, and now I'm in the grand finals. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.